In one sense, this model is quite literally boring, and that's because it includes a tunnel boring machine as a load. The set comes in a big TII Group branded box, and it includes a number of expanded polystyrene packages. They are all factory sealed, so let's open up one of the small ones. And there you can see it. Well, it's something wrapped in paper anyway. The soft paper protects the paintwork, and when we peel it off, we find a 6-line Scheuele self-propelled modular transporter. There are 4 of these in total, plus 2 power pack units. And let's move on to the biggest box, which is also factory sealed. After some surgical knife work, we can lift the lid, and there is the tunnel boring machine. But before you can get it out, it is securely fixed, so you have to undo some screws underneath. Included with the set is a small instruction manual, and it's a general manual because it covers all of the SPMT modules made by IMC. So it tells you how to connect them together and how to connect the power pack unit, and then it goes on to describe the split SPMT modules which are not part of this set. We've assembled these standard modules a few times in the past, and we'll start by fitting some connectors which enable the units to join end on end, and then you can secure them underneath with a steel pin. The steel pin is shiny and it would have looked better if it had a painted head, and it would have been better if the pin was held in a lockable holder like on the real machine. For the power pack units, we'll join them up by inserting the pin first, and it can be helpful to use a screwdriver to line up the holes before inserting the pin. You then put the pin in, and it's easier to use pliers if you have salami-sized fingers. After that, you press in the connections at the top of the power pack. So here's the 2 lines of modules prepared, and now we need to join them together sideways on. And like some other things in life, it's easier to put the clips in when the modules are on their back. The best thing to do is to rotate a wheel set to make some space, and then you can try to insert the clip. Again, things are all a little bit intricate, so a screwdriver is helpful to push the clip down into place. Nothing's really easy because you then have to try and turn the whole assembly over back onto its wheels. And of course it's hard to keep it all straight and lined up so that the clips don't start popping out. But the highly trained Cranes etc. engineers are up to the task. To complete the model, the TBM is added, and that's done using the specially adapted giant hand crane. Starting underneath, the modules are solidly made with most parts made in metal. The tyres are hard rather than soft, but the wheels look good, as do the tiny graphics on the edges of the modules. The power pack unit also looks good with high detail and nice grills, and on top there's good quality diamond plated walking surfaces. The TBM appears to be a single shield machine made by Robbins, and although Robbins was originally American, it's now owned by a Chinese company. At the tail end there are pusher rams and what looks like segment erection equipment, but all of this is simply modelled. However, things are much more interesting at the cutter head, and the individual cutting discs look realistic. Also modelled are the temporary lifting and securing tabs, but they are very delicate, so it's best not to put any load on them. Yes, it's features time. And all of the module units perform in the same way, they roll along easily enough in a straight line. But one thing they don't have is any height adjustment on the wheel sets. You can adjust the steering of each individual pair of wheels, and mostly they're stiff enough to hold a pose, although some of them are sometimes a little bit loose. With the wheels set, the module makes a reasonable attempt at steering. Of course, with all the modules set up, it would be quite a challenge to set an individual steering angle on each wheel set, but it certainly rolls smoothly in a straight line. The TBM is a static model, but the support stands are screwed on, so it is possible to remove the stands, but if you wanted to hang the TBM from a crane it doesn't split into any smaller parts. But the whole arrangement does look interesting if you pose it with a big crane. As a set, this is a very nice looking model, and the tunnel boring machine is certainly impressive. The modules are also highly detailed, although they would have been better with some height adjustable axles. But the overall strength of the model is how it looks and how it poses with other models. So if you want something interesting, this model is very good.